Hey guys, welcome back to the Halo Forge epidemic. This is PsychoDuck, and I'm here with a pretty special video today. With Halo the Master Chief Collection so near on the horizon, launching in less than a month, many of us are soon to be saying our goodbyes to Halo 4 and all of the great community content that's been made over the last 2 years for that game. It's not like it's going away, but the maps will not be transferring over to the Master Chief Collection, and I think many of us will be moving our attention to other games within the collection, such as Halo 2 Anniversary. But I just wanted to go back and take a look at some of the great competitive features that we have, or competitive maps that we have featured over the last 2 years. We've had 41 competitive features, which is about double of what we had in Halo Reach. And, there's just been such a huge variety of excellent maps, not just competitive maps, but that's what I wanted to look at today. Such a huge variety of maps, all different player counts, all different styles of maps, symmetrical, asymmetrical, big, small, 2v2, 6v6, Slayer, objective, everything. From such a huge variety of talented forgers. And of course, I haven't even gotten to, feature everything that I would have liked to. Sometimes a map would end up going into matchmaking before I could get my hands on it, which made a feature seem kind of pointless, or, sometimes maps would just, slip under the radar and I wouldn't get to them. But there's just such a huge, talented group of forgers out there making great maps, and I kind of wanted to pay tribute to some of that today. So basically, I'm going to be going through sort of some of my highlights from these 41 features. These aren't by any means the best maps. These are just kind of, in my opinion, some of the most fun, some of my favorites, really. So, it's not a definitive list of the best competitive maps in Halo 4 or anything like that. Just some of my personal favorites. And I tried to get a variety of different maps from different player counts and whatnot on this list. So without further ado, we'll jump right into those. So the first map on my list is the Ark by the Faded Fire, and this map is a smaller map, which is great for 2v2 games up through 4v4. And the Ark is an asymmetrical map which really took off in the competitive community. It's actually found its way into several matchmaking playlists by now. And the map has a very recognizable theme and an interesting asymmetrical layout, which really lends itself to some excellent and intense games of one-side extraction. So the Ark has this cool beachside theme using rocks and other interesting geometry to just create some, a rather unique play space with a lot of really easily recognizable callouts. And the Ark is a very nice looking map, but of course, more importantly, it just plays really great. It's been through so many different iterations, and it's great for Slayer, it's great for no sprint 4v4 games. It's just a great map all around, but the one-side extraction games you'll have on here are just really fantastic. And it's just a really iconic map for that game mode in my eyes. So the second map I want to talk about is going to have to be the Atheist by Warholic and Nooch. And this map is a symmetrical one for 4v4 games. And despite having a fairly straightforward layout, the reason I picked this map is because this map really proved to me that Ricochet had a place alongside other bread and butter game types in Halo, like Capture the Flag and Slayer. Just the way the bases were set up, the way the goals worked, the way throws were limited, and just the entire way the map worked for Ricochet just really, impressed me and showed me that Ricochet was a great game mode with a lot of potential. This map also had a really cool overshield charging station in the center, which I thought was a very unique and kind of creative thing. So yeah, Atheist is quite an interesting map. So the third map on my list is Shipwreck by MockMizzle008. And in contrast to the first two maps that I talked about, this map is big, it's asymmetrical, and it's really great for 6v6 games. And this map is really cool for a number of reasons. Although it really plays best for Slayer, it's also pretty solid for a couple different objective modes. But what makes this map interesting is the geometry and how it was forged. So typically when we make forged maps, they tend to be very geometric, lots of, you know, angles, like 45-degree angles, 90-degree angles, etc. But this map kind of threw that out the window. So Mach set out to create this sort of destroyed wreckage, you know, thing. And while this made for a very unique and interesting theme, what this really did was it created some really interesting geometry that just is different than what you're going to find on other maps. So the way the lines of sight work on Shipwreck is odd. You know, and that's just really cool. The map also has warthogs on it, and you know the driving is smooth, it's fun, it's fast, and there are some cool jumps. There's this ridiculous jump you can take over this big crashed ship, where you basically can fly your warthog to outer space, and it's just, you know, the driving combined with the interesting geometry you get, and the way that makes the lines of sight work is just really cool and really unique on this map, despite maybe not being as competitively sound as a map like Atheist or the Ark. So my fourth map on my list is Forget About It by Flying Shoe, and this map is a rather straightforward map, kind of like Atheist, and it is almost symmetrical. It's kind of pseudo-symmetrical, but it has asymmetrical elements. And this map was made fairly early after Forge Island came out, but it's just a super simple but really excellent map for 6v6 games with warthogs. And Capture the Flag on this map really stands out to me. You know, the driving routes are simple, the geometry is simple, the bases are simple, but the way it all fits together just makes such a nice experience for 6v6 games. The way the warthogs and infantry are balanced, the way the hills break up the line of sight on, you know, this central road, the way the snipers, you know, work, the neutral rocket launcher and the rush you get for that, and just breaking the flags out of the bases and whatnot, just make for a great map. It's not the most unique, but it just plays incredibly well. And you know, this map's actually found its way into matchmaking as well, under the name Hitchhiker. Apparently, Forget About It was not going to fly at matchmaking. So the fifth map that I would like to show, and this is the last one, is called Checkmate, and it was created by Sergeant SLAPHEAD. And this map is not straightforward or simple. This map is incredibly unique and has a very steep learning curve. Checkmate sort of throws a lot of traditional conventions of map design out the window and has a bizarre weapon set, and there's some weird person screaming out my window. It has a bizarre weapon set, and it's an odd layout, and it's really difficult to get the hang of off the bat, but it is intuitive enough, and the way the map plays is just excellent for small team games, especially for oddball. But controlling different lines of sight on the map, which crisscross over the map's central atrium, is really interesting. The amount of verticality on this map is just really cool, and the way it kind of spirals up around this atrium and encourages movement by forcing you to jump down a level or go up a level to get a different line of sight. Just the way that all works is really interesting and really unique, and it's really punishing. I mean, the learning curve is so steep. So to many people that might be a turnoff, but that's something I really appreciate as a designer. So yeah, this is just another great map, and I think it complements some of the more straightforward maps on my list nicely. So those are my top 5 picks, and again, there's nothing definitive about this list. It's just 5 maps that I felt really demonstrated cool design elements, unique experiences, etc. And these are just some of my favorite maps to play. I'd love to hear what some of yours are, whether they're maps that I've featured in the past or not. Again, I wish I could have gotten to more, but sometimes you can't. I'd like to thank the creators of all of these maps, and again, the entire forging community as a whole for developing such interesting, unique, creative, and generally awesome content over the last 2 years in Halo 4. I really cannot wait until November 11th when Halo the Master Chief Collection comes out. I can't wait to be playing Halo 2 Anniversary and designing maps for that sandbox and using that Forge toolset. It's going to be really exciting. I hope you guys stick with us until then, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.